Most of us have seen the impressive sight of an American motorcycle club on the road, and very often, it's the thundering roar of powerful Harley Davidson engines revving together. When it comes to their favored ride of American motorcycle clubs, it's usually a Harley Davidson, with many including the brand as a must-have in their motorcycle club rulebook. So here comes the question. How did the Harley Davidson become so notoriously intertwined with American motorcycle clubs? The mushroom explosion of American motorcycle clubs happened in the post-World War II era itself, mostly because of disenchanted ex-military personnel coming home in droves. Groups of such ex-soldiers used to hang out with each other, and many took up manual labor jobs in factories, auto workshops, and more. Someone, somewhere had the bright idea to form a motorcycle club, and so the thought gathered steam, with several motorcycle clubs cropping up all over the US. A love for the open road, brotherhood, and a common sense of patriotism bound them all. The veterans did not want any non-American motorcycles, with Japan remaining persona non grata, given that it was still the enemy, much like Germany and Russia. American-made motorcycles were the need of the hour, but then again, it's not as if these bikers had tons of money to spend on their steeds, so the cheapest motorcycles stood to win. It wasn't just American-made motorcycles, AMC members were happy to buy any Allied motorcycles too. British and Italian motorcycles were cool and even boasted superior performance and speed, but most came at a steep price. Another American brand, Indian motorcycles, were closing their operation. Overall, there wasn't too much left for American motorcycle clubs to delve into. For the 1940s, Harley Davidsons were cheap bikes, amplified by the fact that the US Army was busy offloading surplus bikes from its war stocks. Some of these motorcycles might have been fixer-uppers, but the ex-soldiers were more than happy to get a good deal, especially since these motorcycles also felt like patriotism to them. Later, of course, Harley Davidsons began to get a lot more expensive, but by then, they had become synonymous with all that American motorcycle clubs stood for, be it freedom, independence, rebellion, strength, masculinity, and of course, plain badass looks. While some clubs are okay with their members owning other motorcycles like Indian, Buell, or even Triumph. Another cool thing that came out of the secret love affair between American motorcycle clubs and Harley Davidson bikes was the rise of the chopper movement. With a lot of surplus Army HDs in the market, the buyers would chop off the rifle scabbards, radio mounts, and any such military paraphernalia, and chop down the bike, which turned into the chopper movement. Something Harley Davidson later capitalized on as well by making choppers like the Softail and more. The outlaw biker movement gave the Harley Davidson a tough veneer and a hard edge, something that also appeals to people who live otherwise placid or staid lives. There's a certain romanticism about the outlaw AMC member, even though it's largely fueled by the likes of Marlon Brando from the 1953 movie The Wild One, where he incidentally rode a Triumph. Whether they like it or not, the past, present, and perhaps even future of Harley Davidsons remain forever knotted with American motorcycle clubs, especially the Outlaws and the Rebels.